Pozole and Pozole Rojo is a soup that we made in Mexico. Some families make it for Christmas, some families made them for New Year's, and it's also very used in festivities like September 15 because of its deliciousness and also because it's just a staple on Mexican cuisine. And this time we're doing the vegan version that is made with roasted oyster mushrooms that add this meaty texture to the soup. We use lettuce, then the radishes slice, all these garnishes are delicious. And on top of that, the best thing, at least for me, is the chile de árbol, pan fried in oil. It's just so good. It's so good, so spicy. So if you don't like it spicy, omit that. Hominy is the corn, is the heirloom corn. It's a little bit bigger than the regular corn kernels. You can find these here in the United States. I bought mine at Whole Foods. Those come dry. In Mexico, they do sell the pre-cooked version, but here I haven't seen them. But I'm sure in some Mexican stores here in New York, you can find them. I don't know where you are, but if not, just go to a Mexican store and ask. Also, something else that I just remember. In some Mexican stores, I'm sure they sell canned corn for pozole. So just ask around, go to your Mexican store, and I'm sure they're gonna help you to get the ingredients that you need for your pozole and more. We rinsed our corn that we soaked last night, and today we're removing the top. We're removing this part because it's hard, and also to let the water into the grain. So this is going to allow the grain to cook and open up better. So you just do this, and this is kind of hard. So if we leave it, it's going to be hard when we try to eat them. So what you need to do is just with your nail, just take it off. Sometimes you're gonna have a piece of the corn, that's fine. This is what we're taking off. So I showed you already that we remove the top so the water can get in here, and this gets super soft, super creamy, super nicely. So now we're going to place into a pot 4 liters of water, and we're going to add all our corn previously soaked and cleaned. This is already clean, this is beautiful, looking amazing. And now we're going to season. We're going to add kombu seaweed. It's a kind of seaweed that I love to use when I cook my grains, for soups, to add a lot of umami flavor into whatever you are cooking, in this case liquid. It's very commonly used in miso soups. You might know that is part of the dashi, but for this pozole, we want as much flavor as we can get. So I'm gonna add also bay leaves, 2 bay leaves, beautiful bay leaves, right? Half of an onion, just like that, because we're going to remove it later. And garlic, I just cut it in half, and then I'm gonna place them in the water, just like that, beautifully. We're gonna cook it, bring it to a boil, then turn it down to medium flame, and then cook it for about, it's gonna take a while. So we're gonna start with 1 hour, and then we check our grain. So we're going to use 2 different kind of chiles. This is guajillo chili, and this is ancho chili. The way we're going to clean them, because they need to be clean, first we remove the stem, and then we have a container here with seeds, and what you're going to do is, using scissors, we're just gonna open from the side. Sometimes these chiles, like this one, is really dehydrated, like it's super dry, maybe because it's been a long time. So it's gonna start crumbling, that's all right. So what we want is just open it so we can remove all the seeds, because we are going to toast them after this. Okay, so this is what we want. Have other chiles here, and now we're going to do the same with the chile ancho. This is a little bit more full of moisture. So now we open with our hand here, just slightly, just to be able to get the stem out, and with the stem all the seeds are in here. So I'm trying to remove here. I get the stem first, and then all the seeds out. So this is how it looks from the inside. We just remove the seeds. I'm gonna leave the vein. This is the vein of the chili. You can remove it, but I want it for flavor. And actually, you can use these seeds for mole, for sauces, or even for this sauce. Okay, so now we're going to toast our chilies. We have a preheated pan on medium heat. What we're going to do is place the chili with the skin down, and you can use your fingers, or if you want to use a spatula or something, you can use a spatula for pressing it down. What we want is to toast the chili to get all these aromas and all these flavors out. This is going to add more flavor to our sauce. And this color is going to change. I'll show you when this is changing, but look, for now this looks like kind of black or really dark brown. So we always toast from the outside, just the outside of the chili. Never toast the inside because it gets bitter. The smell, it already started smelling really good. And as we put it in the heat, now it's getting softer. There it is. All of this is because of the heat. So we don't want to burn the chili, so what we're going to do is just do the other side until we start getting a little bit of those bubbles. Now we're going to do the same with the guajillo, and you can do this too in an open flame. Maybe here you can observe more the color change, the little bubbles that they were formed with the heat. And the smell you cannot smell, but I'm telling you, it smells really good. Now in a pot we're going to add a quart of water, and then we're going to place our chilies in the water. We're just going to cook them for about 15 minutes because we want them to soften so we can actually blend them and make the sauce and waste as little chili as possible. Also, I have onion, chopped onion, and garlic cloves. Everything is going to go in there. Okay, so it's been an hour and some of the grains already explode. So this is almost ready, but this still needs a little bit more. It is offering some resistance. So I'm gonna leave it there. So the level of the water already went down because already the corn already absorbed a lot. So add more water because this is very little, so the corn has enough to cook, and also we have enough as a broth for us to eat. So for our mushrooms, we're using oyster mushrooms for the pozole. This is gonna be the meaty texture in this pozole that is gonna make it super delicious. So we're seasoning them very simple with olive oil, salt, and pepper. That's it. So now just get all the olive oil with your hands. Around. Then this, the same. Just feel the mushroom, yes, with your fingers, beautiful. Next. And by the way, we're leaving this because I don't want them to fall apart. So I'm gonna cut the stem when they are done. Facing down, so all the color, we get it in here. So facing down. 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. So I left a little bit of the water from the chilies, and the rest of the water I use it for the pozole. Now all the chilies are going in, the onion with the garlic. We're also adding oregano, Mexican oregano, of course. And if you want, you can always add the seeds or not. So I'm gonna add a little bit because they're really good. And the rest, I'm gonna save them for my mole. Blend it until it's smooth. Now we're going to fry our sauce. So we're going to add olive oil, and then we're going to strain it. Little by little, because we wanted the sauce to get fried. And then with a spoon, just pass the sauce through the colander. This is the last step before adding the sauce into our corn. So I'm gonna bring it to a boil and cook for 10 minutes. Okay, so now that our corn is cooked, we're gonna remove the onion, the kombu as well. Huge piece of kombu. And now, look how the corn already explodes. And then the last step for this is we're going to season it with the sauce that we fried. And now we're gonna let it cook. Bring it to a boil because the sauce is already seasoned. So, oh my goodness. These are our garnishes. Raw onion. So we're just gonna do a small dice. Here, and we go in the middle. Just so there are small dice, and then just slice this knife. That's it. I really love raw onion on the pozole. It's like, I think it's that the spiciness, that rawness that gives it that something. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's the contrast when it touches the heat, because the broth is super hot, it's boiling. I don't know, I just love raw onion on the pozole. It's really good. So now we're going to slice some radishes. Be careful with your hands. Don't go all the way in if you feel that you can cut yourselves. But just be careful because these are really small. Just remember to put your fingers out of the way because otherwise you can easily get caught with the blade. So we have iceberg lettuce. And for this one, we're just going to slice it really thinly. This is gonna bring some freshness to the plate, and I usually put a lot. And then now I'm gonna place it in water to clean it, and then I'll drain it. Bottom of the mushrooms that we roast, look this beautiful color that we got. Why? Because we cook them like this and the heat comes from the bottom. That's why. Amazing, right? Okay, now we're gonna cut this piece because that is a little bit chewy and a little bit hard to eat. If not, I would eat it. So from all of them. Chile de árbol is very spicy, but pozole without this is not pozole. But if you don't like spiciness, it's alright, you don't have to eat it. It's fine. These are these chilies. Now we're just gonna toast them lightly. Be careful because if you burn these, they get super bitter. It's 1 or 2 minutes, medium flame. That's it, perfect, ready to go. You're gonna start seeing a little bit of color, like remember the other chilies that I showed you before? The same. This one is gonna start getting a little bit darker. Ooh la la, look at these babies. This is what they are supposed to look like, and they smell lovely. Okay guys, we're going to start plating. This is our beautiful corn, all cooked. Look how it melts. Delicious. We're putting like a cup. You can put more if you want, that's alright, like there is no good or bad. This is whatever you like. Now we're going to add the broth. Ooh. Look at that color. Remember the mushrooms? Just for presentation, I'm just gonna put it like all in here like this, just so you can see it. Can you see how beautiful? Ooh. And now we're gonna top with lettuce, raw onion, some radishes. Plenty because they don't have similarity with anything else. And this. Just maybe because it's for me, two chilitos there. You can add a little bit of oregano. Just for that smell, beautiful smell. And we're gonna finish with a tostada. Tostadita. For crunchiness. What do you think? I hope you enjoy it. And if you did it at home, please tag us. We would love to see how did you make it. And personally, I think the best satisfaction for me is knowing that you did it and that you love it and that your family enjoy it, all the kids running around too, or your husband or your wife. It's just the biggest pleasure for us that you enjoy our food. So thank you so much for watching. Please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, subscribe and click the notification button to get more delicious Mexican, Italian, all around the globe recipes.